Hey, what's up everyone? This is Mr. GWS. And after I bought this Zenfone 5Q, also known as Zenfone 5 Lite, for a few weeks, I would say it's just a alright smartphone with a selfie cam on it. Yeah, it's more or less the selfie centric smartphone, but I would say it's not as great as I thought it would to be. Yes, even though I kind of expect it's like middle of the road, but I didn't expect to be much worse, because this phone is a mid-range processor, Snapdragon 630, 4 gigs of RAM, and I thought it would be much smoother experience. But one of the problems that I have now is a slightly slow fingerprint scanner. Like now, like one, yeah, it's like it will take a while. Again, touch, yeah, it will take a while. It's not as fast as like the Samsung or LG. I think it doesn't even have a vibration to say your phone is unlocked, kind of thing. And I would say the picture quality of the front facing camera is alright, but it's not as detailed as it should be. I think phones like Vivo or even Oppo, I think their image processing is much better than this one, because this one, yes, despite it's 20 megapixels, I think the other brands like the Oppo, like the recent Oppo R15 or the Vivo X21, I think their detail is much better than this one. I think Vivo, even though they advertise the front and the rear is 12 megapixels, you can oversample the Vivo X21 camera to 24, like twice the resolution. And I'll be honest, that time I tried at the local carrier stores, the Vivo X21, it still can burst shot, even you oversample to 24 megapixels. But even though that phone isn't that wide as this one, but at least Vivo X21 is much more detailed. Okay, that's one of the problems, which is the fingerprint scanner, the camera's not that detailed as it should be, even though it's 20 megapixels on the front. And another major problem that I really have to address on Asus is this. I connecting to Wi-Fi, it doesn't have a SIM card. Hey, look at this. It only shows downloading, but it doesn't download anything. It doesn't have the progress bar or installing apps. It also happens on even when I put my SIM card, unless I just onto cellular data on it, it will run. it will download and install it, which is is a very major bug right here. I hope Asus really address this issue as well. And also another thing that Asus really have to address is the camera. Not in terms of the camera, is whether the the settings on there. Even though the front quality can record 60 frames per second, the output produced is only 30 frames per second. As you can see, even though you see HD 60 FPS, but the video it produces is only 30 frames per second. Look at this. Same thing happens on the rear camera as well. Yes, 4K might be produced in 4K resolution, 30 frames per second, but the Full HD 60 frames per second really have to fix, like really desperately. And I hope they really address this problem as well. I also uh, typed to their forums, and they told us to just update the latest firmware, but as for now it's still a latest firmware. As you can see, yeah, recent now, like 16th of June, 8:57 a.m. and it still doesn't have a latest firmware. And battery life, I can say, is just fine. I think I think about the pace as the S9 Plus, which wasn't that great. Not very sure whether Asus X did suck the battery on it, despite it's a slightly larger one, 3300 milliamps, but it's a alright phone. I would say, even though the smoothness is alright, but I think sometimes it's just lag fast here and there, especially when there's a lot of pop-up notifications. And that's about what I thought about the Asus Zenfone 5Q or 5 Lite, because it's not a bad phone by any means. Just that the front-facing camera, yes, even though it can burst shots, but since there's no optical stabilization, the photos will definitely get blurry easily, and the rear camera, despite being hold very firmly, the produce of the photos isn't that great. Just saying, even though, because more or less the other three camera sensors, as far as I know, using Vision ones rather than Sony's, which is Vision cameras wasn't that great anyway. So that's my thoughts about after a few years of not few years, a few weeks of using the Asus Zenfone 5Q or 5 Lite. Would you have that kind of problem as well? Do you experience that kind of problem, or do you have other problems that I didn't aware of? So that's about it. If you like this video, comment and subscribe to my channel, Mr. GWS, and follow on my Facebook and my YouTube page. And as always, I will see you on the next video.